What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 55 of If We Ran Nintendo. What the fuck did I just do that?
What the hell? This ain't your favorite show, Bobby. This is the Geek Cast. Get it right, man.
All my friends are heathens, take it slow.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 55 of the Geek Cast. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, joined by my good buddy, Toby from the UK. What is up, Toby?
What is up, my New Jersey brethren?
Well, this is definitely not If We Ran Nintendo. Well, I will for those that don't know, and you're probably going to say it, but I screwed up the intro when we started off. So
You are just a screw up. That's what you are.
Yeah,
Bobby.
and unfortunately, sadly, yes.
Just face up to it.
How are you doing today, Toby?
I'm doing all right, thank you.
Yeah, we don't talk as much as we used to.
No, I'm a busy man.
Yeah, but I don't like this whole setup. I need to call your dad. This needs to change. This is nonsense, man. I don't know what he's doing. This is he's ruined my quality time.
Dude, you don't message me. You can't put this all on me. It's you as well.
I'm not putting it on you. Well, because you know what? Like, I get worried messaging you. Because I'm like, is he going to, like, when's he going to see it? And then, like, is he going to get in trouble for messing with his phone?
No.
I don't know. I don't know if your dad's going to take you in the bedroom and spank you or put you in timeout or something like that. I don't know what he's...
Put me on the naughty step.
Yeah. Toby, get in the corner now. But yeah, we gotta. You know what? I'm gonna make a conscious effort from now on. I'm gonna start messaging you every day.
Yeah, you better.
And then I don't care what your dad says. If your daddy got a problem, you tell your dad to come talk to me.
Yeah,
and we'll straighten it out, man to man. I'll be like, listen, don't try it, Mr. Thornton. Just calm down. Go eat your crimpets and your
crimpets.
So. Let's kick this episode off like we do each and every episode with our Geek Outs. What are you geeking out about, Toby?
I really don't know. I'll say Lego. And I'll tell you what, I'll tell you right now. So a couple of weeks ago, I told you I was working on a secret project. And this wall behind me with all the shelving and that's part of it. The thing that I asked you to draw is part of it.
Okay. And
it involves Lego. So
okay.
So I've been buying lots of Lego sets, and so I've got a couple of Minecraft Lego sets, a Minecraft creative Lego box, which is just a whole bunch of different bits and pieces that you can make Lego Minecraft stuff.
But is the Minecraft stuff actually Lego, or
it's officially licensed Minecraft Lego?
Really? Because I might start buying that.
Yeah, I'll show you it quickly. So there's a couple of sets that I've got. This is the cave set. Okay. And basically you get like a zombie, you get Steve, you get a spider, you get a chest, you get some lava pieces and some like cobblestone pieces and that. And then I've got like a dungeon set, which, you know, like the creature spawners. And then I've got just a big box with... It's like got random, like all sorts of different types of Minecraft Lego pieces. Wow. So you can just make whatever you want out of it.
I like that.
So yeah, and I've been collecting those. I've got some other like Lego City pieces. I've got Batman and Harley Quinn. They're like chasing each other, and they can like fire studs at each other and that. So yeah, so I'm gonna be doing something with those.
Nice. Now, I know that you like to play the Lego games. Have you been messing with Lego Dimensions at all, or no?
No, I do want to get into it, but I'm just sort of waiting for the right thing to like hook me into it. I mean, because I've got other Lego games to play still. You know, it'll come up on our topic later, but I've got the new Star Wars Lego game to play.
Oh, okay.
I've had that since it came out. I pre-ordered it, but I've not played it yet.
Gotcha.
So I've got to get through that.
Myself, I'm geeking out about. I saw Suicide Squad yesterday, and I'm not really going to get too deep into it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good movie. I'm not really sure where all the hate is coming from. I just think it's kind of cool for people to rag on DC films anymore. and that's kind of where we're at in this juncture. Like I felt like I don't think any movie is particularly perfect. And I feel like this movie, I don't feel like it has flaws, or I don't want to come off like that. Like I think it's got points where you're just like, okay, and then but for the most part, I think the good outweighs the bad by far. I enjoyed the movie far and beyond, much better than I thought I would when it first got announced. Loved Harley Quinn, thought she stole the show. Actually, really liked Deadshot. And I'm a fan of Deadshot. I have been since I was a kid and reading comics. He was probably the only one in the Suicide Squad that I really knew and cared about growing up. And when they cast Will Smith, I was like, oh, why? And he actually killed it, man. He was awesome in it. And I was like, this is amazing. So
I like Will Smith. I think he's a good actor.
I do too, but I liked him better years ago than I do now. Like it just seems like a lot of his films now are just kind of like, eh. But I mean, he does great films. I'm not going to take that from him, and he's always got films that are blockbuster hits and all that. I don't know. I don't know what it was. Like, I don't know. I just didn't see him as Deadshot because Deadshot's kind of like cold and calculated.
Yeah.
And I didn't see him really playing that role. And he doesn't really necessarily play that type of Deadshot. But he plays a great role. And there are times when he gets into there, and actually there's only one scene where he actually plays that cold, calculated killer. And that's what I didn't see him playing. And he doesn't necessarily play that. But I liked his version of Deadshot. And I was willing to be like, okay, this is awesome. So I don't know. So
that sounds cool. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it. I think Tony, I went last night with Miguel, which he drives me crazy. He sits there and plays Pokemon Go while we're sitting in the theater. Yeah. Like there's like, you have all the stuff that's starting on the screen. It's not like the coming attractions. You do like a pre-stuff where it's like basically commercials. But I like to watch. I can see like what's coming on TV. Like there's a good Kiefer Sutherland TV show getting ready to start, which looks really awesome. And I was like, I'm watching it, and he's over there catching Pokemon. He's like tapping me every 2 seconds, like, look what I caught. Look what I caught. I'm like, Miguel.
I picture Miguel being the sort of guy that talks the whole way through a film.
No, he didn't. I was shocked. I was shocked.
Rustling with like bags of sweets and popcorn going everywhere.
I thought he was gonna be like that too, but he wasn't. He was good. He's very like when the movie went on, boom, he just locked it down. There was a couple times where he was laughing and stuff, but it was funny stuff,
Yeah, he's allowed to laugh. We'll let him.
Yeah, you're allowed to laugh.
Yeah.
You're allowed to laugh. and he would sometimes be like, "Oh, that's cool." Like that's fine. I don't care with that. That's I was brought up the way I was brought up was you do not talk in the theaters.
Yeah,
at all. You can talk before the film, but the minute the coming attractions hit, you shut your mouth. That's the way I was raised. We got to talk before we went into the theater. Like, if you say a word, I'm going to get you. I'm going to pick you up. I'm going to drag you out of the theater. I'm going to whip your ass, and we're going home. And my dad was strict. Like, even at home, when we watched movies, if we would start, like, talking or something, he'd pause the film and just sit there and stare at us. And then all of a sudden we go, oh, God, it's off. And he goes, you going to shut up? And
I like it, Dad.
Oh, it was, but you know what? It raised me a certain way that, like, it's actually bad because I'll go into a theater and if someone's talking, I'll actually tell them to shut up. And because I'm just like, dude, I paid my money. You know what I mean? Like,
you got to respect the medium.
Yeah. Kids today don't respect it at all. There'll be kids in there texting and all that stuff. And I'm like, oh, and it's funny because I go with my dad now. And my dad's like, just chill out. I'm like, screw you, man. You used to threaten to whip my ass if I talked to the film. And you're sitting here like, calm down. No. And yeah, I can't. Tony gets a little nervous. I think that's probably why she didn't want to go last night with me. It's because she gets a little nervous when she knows it's going to be a bigger crowd and she knows that like there's going to be kids there. So she's afraid that I'm going to say something.
You're going to embarrass her.
Yeah. And I could care less. My thing is like, hey, I paid good money to come see this. Shut up. You know what I mean? Like, that's just the way I feel. You know, it's if you want to talk, go talk. I gotta tell this story. I went on a date one time, right? I go to movies, and I'm a big Schwarzenegger fan. More so when I was younger. His films later, but
yeah,
End of Days was coming out, and I wanted to see that so badly, right? And I was dying to see it, and I was like, "This, I love Schwarzenegger. This is gonna be awesome. I can't wait." And I'm dating this girl at the time. We just started dating, like we had been on like maybe 3-4 dates, and she says, "What are you doing this weekend?" So I want to go see End of Days. And she's like, "Well, come up, and I'll buy tickets, and we'll go with my brother and his wife." And I was like, "Yeah, that's fine. That's cool. We'll go to double date." She's like, "You can meet my brother," and I'm like, "Oh, that's cool. No big deal." So I go up. Her and her sister-in-law went and bought the tickets earlier in the day, so we didn't have no issues. We just kind of went in and did our thing. I'm like, "All right, cool." Sitting in the movies, and we're about midway through, right? And you ever feel like you're sitting there and someone's staring at you and you could feel it, right? And it's like, and I'm watching a movie and I could just feel someone like eyes boring a hole through the side of my head.
Yeah.
And I look over and it's the girl. And she's looking at me and I go, "What? Like, why are you staring at me?"
Yeah.
She goes, "What's wrong?" I go, "What?" I go, "What do you mean what's wrong?"
Yeah.
You're not talking to me. And I go, "I'm watching the movie, man. Like, I came here to watch this movie. I've been dying to see this movie for the last 6 months, 8 months, whatever, since the minute that I got announced. I'm not here to talk.
I'm watching the movie, man."
Yeah. I was so
Shut your damn face.
Yeah, I was like, "Come on, woman. What the hell's wrong with you, man?" Yeah, so
that's funny.
Anyway, I'm real. That's why Tony doesn't like to go with me, because I'm real, like, I don't know. I'm screwed up. What are you playing, Toby?
Not a lot this week. I've been so busy this week. You're gonna hate me. I still haven't checked out the ukulele toy box. I know I said I would, but it's totally slipped my mind this week.
Dude, I know.
Come on, man. But instead, I've been playing some DS games. DS, not 3DS, DS.
DS games.
Yeah,
you have a chance to play ukulele.
Yeah,
and you play DS games. You are. Man,
the thing is, like, I've got nothing on my 3DS that I want to play right now. So I went to a charity shop and I found.
No. We don't have nothing on the 3DS we want to play. I got ukulele sitting on the back burner, but I'll just go to the charity shop and get DS games.
I can play my 3DS in bed or whatever. I can't play ukulele in bed. So I was playing Civilization Revolution on DS on my 3DS, and I got addicted to it. So I completed it in a few days, and it's really good Civilization game. It reminds me of Civilization 2 on the PlayStation 1. So it's not as in depth as a lot of Civilization games.
You got you know what, man?
I got problems.
You make me sick, man. I don't understand how you fund this game. They give you a sampler. Everybody and their mother are flipping out about it, playing it, streaming it. And here's Toby. "Oh, I'll get to it when I get to it. Maybe 6 months from now I'll get to it."
Maybe when the game's out.
Ukulele will actually release, and then you'll go back and go, "Oh, I got to try this out.
Yeah.
I got to check the demo out. I didn't even play the game."
Time warp.
Oh, what the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Myself, I've been playing. The main thing I've been playing is Pokemon Y. I've been playing that a lot. I got much further than I was. Well, not much further. I'm a little bit further than I was when I quit the last time. But time-wise, I'm much further. I've been grinding a lot more, building up everything, trying to get, I'm hooked, man. I like this game. It's such a good game. And I'm glad that Pokemon Go existed to kind of get my feet wet and get me into, this whole series. But now I'm just like excited, and it's got me to the point where I'm like, I'm looking at Pokemon stuff and I'm like, I want to buy a couple of things. I want to buy this, I want to buy that. And so I might actually start collecting some Pokemon. I know I'm not going to get insane, but I'm thinking about collecting some Pokemon stuff, and because I collect the plushies. I don't know if you saw these 20th anniversary plushies that they've been putting out.
No, I've not seen them.
They're really cool, man. They come in these little plastic packages that unzip, and you pull them out, and they're kind of like shiny, like the fur on them is kind of like a shiny type stuff. Dude, it's really cool stuff. So I'm like, I know that I can get like a Pikachu at the Toys R Us, local Toys R Us, so I might run over and grab him, and then start looking.
You know
for
what?
A couple other ones, so.
I'm surprised that you haven't got into the Pokemon trading card game, just collecting the cards, because I know you collected all the Animal Crossing ones.
Well, I didn't collect them all. I kind of stopped after I got, I think, all of Series 1, a good portion of 2, and I stopped. But I am, now that they've announced the Animal Crossing stuff for New Leaf, I'm actually going to go start collecting the cards again because I want to complete the sets. Yeah, but Pokemon, see, my thing is I never got into Pokemon until now. Like, so it's been out for 20 years. So I never, if it's been out for 20 years, so I was like in my early 20s when the game hit, and I didn't want anything to do with it. I was like, at that point, I was actually on a decline of video games altogether. I was basically to the point where I was like, all right, I need to be an adult now. I need to stop playing video games. And like I would tinker with them, but I never put in the time that I was putting in, years prior. So I was like interested in girls and all that stuff and going out to bars or trying to anyway at that point. So I kind of, that stuff was kind of like being left behind. And let's be honest, Pokemon was kind of for kids at that point, with the cartoon and all that. And I was just like, that's kiddie. I'm not messing with this. Like, if you give me a Final Fantasy game, I'll play it, but I'm not playing this. This is kid stuff. And then when I actually got in and started playing this one, now I know you got like almost 20 years at this point of why. You got almost 20 years of like in-depth building to create this very deep game. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of stuff you can do in this game.
Yeah.
That's where I feel like, I could go back and play the other ones. I don't know how deep the other ones are, but I like it. I
think they're all fairly deep.
Well, I mean, like this one, you can like dress your Pokemon up. You can do like
that's all nonsense. Who wants to dress their Pokemon up?
I agree, but I think it's like it basically brings them into like like women are into that. Like when I told Tony that, she was like, "Oh my god, that would be awesome," and it's like so. For that aspect, it's kind of they're catering to everybody. Like they're opening the depth up to everybody.
Yeah, I see that.
It's kind of interesting. So that's it.
I think like Pokemon's getting too big though, like because it is such a long running franchise, and they're like trying to put new ideas and new Pokemon in every time, and like it was simple. Like back in Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, you had like, I don't know, like 8 different types of Pokemon or whatever. And now, like, it seems every generation they're adding a new type, like a whole new type. You've got like fairy Pokemon and poison Pokemon. I'm not familiar with the types now, but I know that there's a lot more than there was. And it kind of like, because it used to be very simple, like, fire would beat grass and water would beat fire and all of that, like very sort of simple. But now there's so many different types of Pokemon that all their weaknesses and stuff, it becomes a little bit daunting when you think about relearning all of these things and how the strategy is.
Yeah, but I think like you need to like to develop the game and to build, you have to do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like if it was just the same 3 things for 20 years, people
I know what you mean
with it.
But like I feel like if you're not already a veteran Pokemon player, then starting with like if you got Pokemon Sun and Moon as your first Pokemon game,
that's gonna be hard. Well, I don't know if Sun and Moon will be difficult. I know why. They kind of said like we're kind of stepping back with why and kind of like reteaching people how to play this series. Like why? That's the reason why I bought Y originally. But it didn't grab me. You know what I mean? And because I really didn't know who I was catching, and I didn't know any of the characters. I was like, whatever, man. This is nonsense. That's why Go was such an integral part to me stepping into this, because now when I play it, Sean talked about it last week. Now when we play the game, it's like when I catch a Pidgey. I've caught a million Pidgeys on Pokemon Go, so I know who that character is. You know what I mean? Like, so it's a little bit more
Yeah.
You're understanding the characters per se.
So here's a question, right?
Yeah.
So Pokemon Go is the original 100, or nearly the original 150
Yeah.
Pokemon, right?
Yes.
So you're familiar with those designs of Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
So with Pokemon Y, I think they have some of the old ones in there, but
Yes.
they have a lot of new ones as well.
Mhm.
So out of the new ones that you've captured so far, do you prefer the designs of the old ones over the new ones? Because I think there's a big difference.
Well, well, my starter was Fenix, and I don't even think that was actually what he's like Fennekin or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's it's like a little fox.
Yeah.
That was my starter. I liked him a lot, like really a lot. But other than that, like the ones I'm catching, like there's a like a monkey looking one, Panatone or something like that. Like
Yeah.
he's okay. There's not like I think like the original ones, like Squirtle and all those are kind of like iconic, and it's like they don't. I know you're. I'm just trying to think how to word it. I like the original ones better. You know, and I think there's more character to them.
Yeah.
I feel like the new ones are kind of like there's one. It's like two. It's like it looks like a mouse, but it's actually two balls on top of each other, and there's like a string or a tail kind of connecting the two. It's weird looking. It's like that's stupid. That's so stupid. Like why would you do? You know. So I get it. You know.
I think also a lot of the original ones were based on real life or like real world animals. And I know that some like that monkey one you mentioned is based on a monkey, obviously, but I think there's a lot more abstract looking Pokemon than there used to be.
Yeah, and I think that like there's a rabbit in this one. I hate the rabbit. Rabbit's so stupid. Like there's some that and they're just like I think I like the original 150 so far better. Now I haven't gotten in deep and really seen all of them. So I think that as time goes on and I get to recognize and realize all these other ones, I might like it more and I might start to open up more. So let's jump into our first topic. And that's basically backlogs. I wanted to go over, like, for those that don't understand what a backlog is, it's basically like your games that you've got, you might have started, or you might not have played at all, but it's games that you haven't beaten, that you want to beat, that you look at and you go, I need to go back and play it. So it's games that you haven't completed. A lot of people will have a huge list. I don't want to go over every single game, but I kind of want to just go over the ones that you look at and you go, man, I really want to go back and play that. I got about like 6 or 7 on my list.
Dude, my entire game library is pretty much nothing but games I haven't finished. I very rarely finish games.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like thinking about it, like out of recent games that I've bought, like for the PlayStation 4.
You haven't even finished Grand Theft Auto.
No, I don't care about that. I'll probably never finish GTA unless I do it with Mike.
Yeah, but that's I'm happy that I beat that game because that just shows I'm the better player than you.
Don't say stuff like who's level 165 online.
That's online. If you just run around and do races by yourself,
I've got
all day
hundreds
long,
and hundreds of hours of experience in that game.
You just you race against yourself, man.
It's not just racing. I'm not racing against myself. Why are we getting into this? This is not about backlogs.
Go ahead. What's
I'm thinking about my PlayStation 4 collection mainly because, like, I don't know, like I've got Uncharted 4 that I've got a couple of hours left in to finish it, so I really do want to finish that because I've finished all the other ones, and everyone says the ending is amazing, so I do want to get around to doing that. Then I think about like Assassin's Creed Syndicate, like that would be cool to see the rest of that game because I feel like I scratched the surface on it and I was really enjoying it, and then another game come along and just like took my attention away from it. There's like things like that. Batman, I'm still playing that. That Batman seems like a game that I will finish. Because I'm really.
But that one you just started playing.
Yeah, so it's not really something I've had for ages, but I don't know. There's just like pretty much all of my PS4 collection is like that. Just sort of, I play for about 5 or 6 hours, move on to another game.
Um, for me, I kind of, when I get into a game, I'll push through. Typically, I'll beat them, but there's games that I'll start and then I go, I'll go back eventually. And I don't know why. And a lot of times, what happens is like something new will hit, and I want to jump into that, and then I just never go back. And it's harder with like RPGs and stuff like that. Like the minute you disconnect from an RPG, it's almost impossible to go back.
Yeah.
Because you don't know where you're at. You know, especially if you're, you know, if you're in a town or whatever, and you can kind of talk to a couple people, and they could point you in a direction to go, you're okay. But if you're like kind of like wandering around and you stop for whatever reason, it's game over. You don't know where you're going at that point. And that's kind of why I stopped Pokemon Y the first time, because I stopped in a section and was like, oh, I'll go back, and something else came along, and I just never went back. And then when I did go back, I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. I'm lost. And I just shut it down and never went back again.
There are some games that handle that really well, though. Like when you load up a game that has this feature, like instead of just being a loading screen, it will tell you what happened in the story in the last like moments before you're playing. Like,
so I think that,
like The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3 does it. When you load up that game, it gives you a narrated voiceover of the story up to that point. Only like the key points. So you're up to date when you jump into it. So
that's awesome.
Witcher 3 is another game for me that I do need to get back into.
For me, a couple on here: Xenoblade Chronicles, the original and X. I bought the original on the Wii U when that came out not that long ago. I was enjoying it on the 3DS. You and I were both playing together. I stopped. Yeah. We both stopped.
Yeah.
And then I never went back. But then I bought it on the Wii U, and it looks really good on the Wii U. Like really good. So that one I'll definitely get back into at some point. I go on vacation again next week. Not this coming week, the week after. So I might actually dive into that one and start playing that one again. But
I think they have objective markers and stuff for that game. I like the quests; it will point you in the general direction.
Yeah, that one at least, like it'll say like where I stopped. I know I can log back in, and I'll have an arrow pointing me where to go. So that one will help me get kind of, knock a little rust off and go. Xenoblade Chronicles X. I don't think I'll go back to that one. That one I didn't like that at all. I mean, I liked it in the beginning. I think it's a gorgeous game. I like the open world aspect of it. I just hated the fact that they took out like Shulk and the Monando and all that stuff. Like,
it lost a lot of character.
Yeah, I like that whole storyline of the original. I thought that was phenomenal. I thought that original storyline was amazing. And that's what makes me want to go back and play more of that game, because I want to beat it. I want to know what happens. I love them characters. I loved Shulk. Shulk was such a great character. And thanks to Smash, because I never wanted anything to do with Xenoblade. When that first game came out the first time, I was like, I don't want anything to do with this game.
Yeah.
People would talk about it. I was like, I could care less about this character. I played Smash, and I was like, oh, I like this guy. This guy's cool, And so, Fire Emblem Fates. Now, I did beat Birthright. Conquest, I got about midway through, and I'm at a point I just can't move. I can't do anything because you can't grind. You can't build your levels. I don't know how to beat this one level. And so I put it down. Now, I might just skip Conquest and go on to Revelation. And because that's, from what I understand, Revelation is a lot built like Birthright, where you can go back and you can actually grind and stuff like that. So I might go back and play that one, because I'd like to beat Revelation and see what the whole gist of it is.
Yeah.
Because Birthright was amazing. I loved Birthright. Loved it so much. And I got in there and I just kept playing and playing and playing. And I loved it. It was awesome. Bayonetta 1. I need to go back and beat that. I beat Bayonetta 2. I played 2 before 1, which was probably a mistake.
You got the Wii U version of 1 as well, right?
Yes. Yeah. I bought I bought it online. It's I have it digitally. So when I bought 2, I got 1 for free. I liked what they did with it. I liked the whole changes. They ramped it up a little bit. It got better. I like the outfits. I think I played as Princess Peach. Like, I had the Princess Peach outfit on her. But it's just kind of cool. Like, and she's badass, man. She's awesome. The funny thing is like I played the second one, and when the reviews are coming out, they're like, "Oh, it's really over sexualized and this and that." And I'm like, I'm playing. I'm like, I don't think this is that bad. Whatever. This is whatever. You know, like I don't think it's like there was people who were like, "Oh, it's hard to play with people in the room because it's embarrassing and stuff." And I was like, Tony sat there 90% of the time playing. I was like, I'm not embarrassed. I went back and played one, and I was like, oh, okay. And I was like she was doing stuff, and I was like, wow, okay. And I think so. That one I think was
Karina loves those games though. She's obsessed with those games.
Oh, they're good. They're so good. They really are. I love the combat and all that, and it's easy. It's easy to get in and go fluid. You know.
Yeah, and they are fun to watch as well. Like you're saying, Tony watching you. Like,
yeah.
Like, I like watching Karina play them.
You have anything else on your list?
Like I say, my entire life is full of games.
Is there anything you really want to go back and get back into?
It would be nice to finish Twilight Princess on HD.
Yeah, I have it on my list too.
Yeah.
I mean, I beat the original, and I think that's probably why it's more of a. I just feel like this game is such. It's crazy.
It's a longer game than I remember.
Yeah, man, and it's not as. Maybe because the original was just like ahead of its time a little bit. And something that we hadn't seen, and. This one, I don't know what it is, man. I when I play it again, I'm like, how do people think this is the best 3D Zelda game? Like, I don't get it. Like, I enjoyed my time much more with Wind Waker than I did with this.
Yeah, Wind Waker is probably a better game overall.
Yeah, and I just, I don't know, man. It's I don't know. I don't know what it is. But whatever. Part of me, the only reason I'm thinking about even going back more though is for Wolf Link. To like level him up and get him stronger, so this way when I go play Breath of the Wild, I can actually hunt with him a little bit.
Oh, dude, Breath of the Wild! I can't wait for that game.
I know,
like that's my most anticipated game ever.
But you know what? That's a game that probably neither of us will beat. And I mean,
I've beaten all of the console Zelda games that I've played, so.
This is a little different, Tobes. Little different.
Is it though?
Yeah. Well, with the fact of like you kind of choose your own adventure and you run out.
I guess, but then they say you can go straight to the end if you want. So,
but of course you can go straight to the end. You can almost go straight to the end in the originals.
All right, it depends how you sort of explain finishing this game. Like, is finishing this game exploring the entire world, or is it just
finishing this game is beating the game? See, to me, finishing the game is credits roll, and that's it.
Well, then we will. There's no way neither of us are not finishing Breath of the Wild.
Man, I don't know. It depends on the level of Ganon. You know what I mean? Like,
well, you think you're too much of a scrub to beat Ganon.
It depends on the level of him. What if he's like this super powerful and you got to really be geared up to beat him?
I bet you can beat him in his pants. Somebody is going to run straight there. Like some speedrunner is going to learn how to beat him in his pants.
No, I don't think so. Anyway, two other games I have on my list that I wanted to just touch. Well, three other, but I'll just Tokyo Mirage Sessions. I got to get back into that and get into that one further. Wonderful 101. I've started a couple times and I've put it back down each time.
You know, that's one Wii U game that I never picked up, and part of me thinks I should, because I hear a lot of people saying it's really good. But
when I was talking to James from Life of Gaming podcast, and he was saying to me, like, if you can get past like the first hour and a half, the game really ramps up and gets really good. And that's where I kind of get jammed up. I can't get past that first hour and a half. So that's another one that I think I got to just push through, get in like 3-4 hours of gameplay, and then it'll probably, ramp up for me and get better. And then Ratchet and Clank.
You've got to finish that, man.
I'm at the end. I'm at the final boss. You know what I mean? Like, the problem is you had the weapon that made it a little bit easier.
Oh, yeah. It's exceptionally easy. If you got the Rhino, you just blitz through that boss.
And I don't have that weapon at the moment. I'm missing one card, I think, to get it. So I'm thinking about going back and trying to find that card and push through and then beat him. But when you don't have that card,
You can use the sheepinator to if you upgrade the sheepinator to max, then you get crystals so quickly from killing enemies with the sheepinator, and you can grind crystals and upgrade all of your other gear, like all of your other weapons, and then you'll probably have a much easier time doing that.
My thing is what I don't like about the final boss, and it's the same thing with Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. Like, the boss battle's long, and I get that, but there's like no like little checkpoints. So like, when you die, you got to go all the way back and redo all this. So, I mean, and that's fine. I get that. But the most annoying thing is, like, after you've done it 5-6 times, it's like, oh,
yeah, it becomes
come on.
Yeah,
it's like, come on, man. I don't want to do this
come
again.
on, man.
So, our next topic. So, if you could go back in time and pick one game, only one. I gotta stress one with you, because you'll have like.
Yeah, I have a list of games here.
Yeah, you'll have like. Of course, you have a list, because you don't ever listen to the rules. One game that you don't have any longer, that you wish you still had. And
I know what that game is.
Can I guess?
All right, you can guess.
I think it's Shenmue.
No, I've got multiple copies of Shenmue.
Oh my god, multiple copies.
Yeah.
All right, so get what game is it?
Because I love that game so much. Like, if one of them ever breaks, I need a backup.
Oh god.
So, it's an N64 game that I'm missing. Because the thing is, like, you know, although I did get rid of a lot of games as a kid, like to pay for new consoles or whatever, most of the games that I got rid of, I've repurchased as an adult. So I've got like a collection of pretty much everything I used to have as a kid. Not everything. That's why I've got a list of about 8 games here that I'd like. But the one I'm going to pick is Bomberman 64.
Nice. Okay.
And like, the thing is with that game is, I just got these memories of playing that game, and it's just one of those games that you played as a kid that sort of sticks in your mind. It might not be the best game ever, but it had a unique like play style to it. You know, you used to like, you put the bombs on the floor and you can kick them to slide them into enemies, and it's like, sort of like a 3D puzzle game as well. You know, you can pick up bombs and you can make them grow bigger and you can throw them, and then there's like boss battles and stuff, and it's just, I just got a lot of nostalgia for this game, and I really want to play it again. Like, I could probably get it on eBay for like 10 or 15 quid, but like, I don't know. That's just, for several years now I've been thinking about this game, but I've never just got around to getting it. So.
The one game on my list, and it's kind of the same thing. Like, it's a nostalgia game that I played a bunch of times growing up, but the original Metal Gear on the N64, or I mean on the NES, and I loved it. And mainly because of the memories of myself and my cousin and my best friend playing it all the time. Like, we would have like sessions, like, hey, it's Saturday morning, let's all meet at this person's house, and we're all going to try to push through and beat it and stuff. And just so much fun, like a lot of fun between us. Just real quick, briefly, what's some of the other games that are on that list for you?
Yeah, I just thought of one. I think it's WrestleMania on the SNES. It's a wrestling game with Hulk Hogan in it on the SNES. But,
Yep.
There's Asterix on the SNES, which was a platformer me and my brother used to play a lot. Killer Instinct Gold on the N64. Mischief Makers on the N64. Crash Bandicoot. That's like something that's really big gap in my PlayStation 1 collection.
Well, you might as well just wait for the collection.
Yeah, I might as well.
The only other game that I wrote down that I really want to go back and get is Baseball Stars on the NES.
Snooze.
No, man. Let me tell you what. Like, for me, as a kid, I loved baseball games, and I loved baseball. Like,
I remember you telling me about. Is this the one you did the tournament with your dad?
No. That was on the Atari. This one was the first time that you could actually customize, and you basically would buy players, release players, you would power them up. Like, like if you did good in a game, if you won a game, you would get paid money at the end, and then you would take the money to build up players and make them stronger and better. And then, like, it was just, and you could create players and change their names and all that stuff, and like just awesome. It was so much fun. It was so ahead of its time in terms of like for baseball games or what it was. Like there was SNK made it, so there was Baseball Stars in the arcade, and it's actually on the Wii. It's nowhere. It's not even the same game. The one for the NES was a totally different game. Like it was the first time you could actually climb the wall and steal home runs, and that was just like it took me and my best friend forever to finally steal one. And when you did, it was like holy crap! Like you just started jumping up and down and screaming and stuff because it was just so cool, you know. But it was a lot of fun. It was a great game. So for me, that's probably the only other one that I need. That I just want to like go back and play again.
Yeah.
Last thing we got on today's show, real quick, I wanted to touch on. So I said to Toby, I said, let's go into Kickstarter and see if there's any games that are like out there that catch your interest, that you really would consider kickstarting, I guess, or just that you're like, you want to keep your eye out for it. So we both looked. There's really not a lot on there right now, and it's kind of depressing. I think some of it might have to do with, you know, Mighty Number 9 and getting so much hate that it's kind of hurting Kickstarter a little bit. But I think Yooka-Laylee will kind of bring that resurgence back when they kind of do everything that they said they were going to do. But that aside, what's your one game that you were able to find that caught your interest?
I feel like you might have the same game as me.
Maybe.
It's called Glitched.
No, I didn't have that one. I didn't have that one. No.
Did you see that one though?
I saw it, but I didn't look at it. It didn't catch my eye. But go ahead. Tell me.
Because I've been following this developer on Twitter for a while, and I'll read out a little bit of the campaign. Like their goal is already funded, so it is coming out. It says Glitched is a mystery and exploration RPG coming to PC, Mac, and Linux. The game features traditional turn-based combat with a little bit of spice, but will primarily focus on story and how you change it. This will be done through the Essence system, which will track a player's personality and morality. After a glitch appears in the world of Soren, our unexpected hero Gus will become aware of you, the player. Experience fourth wall breaking shenanigans while making decisions that will shape this world. So basically, as you play the game, the character becomes more and more aware of the player, and you sort of affect his world and how he plays it and the morality, like different choices that he makes. Graphically, it's very much like Earthbound, I think. It's like pixel graphics, very sort of bright and colourful. But I think a lot of the gameplay in it reminds me of what's that game with the skeleton? It was remember you? What is that game? The guy that made it's called Toby, and everyone was freaking out about this game. And you had the choice of, when you did turn-based battles, you could choose to spare someone's life or kill them.
Okay.
What's it called? You should know. Everyone was going mental for it. I'm gonna have to Google it.
You Google it.
But anyway, that's the game. So tell everyone about your game. Okay,
my game is, and it's corny, but it's called Learn Japanese to Survive. The Katakana War. It's backed. It's got 8 more days left. But what it does is it teaches you how to read Japanese, but it's an RPG game. So
Undertale. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's very similar to Undertale in the combat system.
So in this game, though, you learn to read and write and all that Japanese, but you learn it because what happens is the Japanese like writings, well, they're enemies. They attack you, and in order to beat them and do the attacks, you need to like know what it says. You know what I mean? Like if a symbol comes up, it looks kind of like old school Final Fantasy type game. So that's kind of what it is. But like if a symbol comes up and it's like, well, just hypothetical, like the symbol comes up with the symbol for mouse. So you need to like know that like that means mouse. And you click it and it will take off. It'll kill some of the enemies. Like a bunch of different symbols will pop up on the screen at one time and stuff. And it was kind of corny, but it was kind of cool because I was like, that's kind of an ingenious way to teach people how to read Japanese. or
just gamifying it.
Yeah, gamifying the language and making it something that, like, hey, if you're an RPG player, which I am, you want to learn Japanese, which I do, I was like, give this a shot. And it's like, it teaches you how to draw the emblems and to write them and stuff. Not draw, but how to write the emblems and all that. I was like, this is kind of cool. I like this. This is pretty neat. I've always been wanting to learn Japanese. It's one of my biggest things because I want to go to Japan one day.
Seems like a very hard language to learn.
They said it's one of the hardest in the world. But I just, man, something about it. I want to learn it. I want to learn it because I want to go to Japan and I don't want to buy a donut and it be filled with raw fish. So that's what it boils down to. Yeah, man. I don't want to know that, like, because they eat some weird stuff, man. I don't want to go to Japan.
They got McDonald's in Japan.
I know, but I don't want to eat Big Macs every day.
Fine, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I know. Well, my main thing is I don't want to get lost. But I follow a dude on YouTube. I'm going to mess his name up, but I think it's Wasabi Galaxy. And he does vlogs because he goes over to Japan occasionally. Yeah. And I started talking to him a little bit through his channel. And he was saying that, like, I was like, I want to go so bad one day. He's like, dude, you really need to go. He's like, if I recommend it to everybody to need to go. And I was like, I'm just scared I'll get lost. You know what I mean? He's like, dude, it's not that bad. He's like, as long as you stay in the cities, a lot of those people, like, they speak English too, so they'll help you out. It's like when you get into the little towns, that's where you got problems because those people don't know anything. You know what I mean? Like, they don't know anything. They don't know English. But
English is like the number one language they teach over there. Like,
yes, because I remember playing Animal Crossing Wii City Folk. Yeah, and when they had the Wii Speak, you could talk to people. I had friends. I had Japanese friends on my list that I had met, and they spoke English. And I was like, this is so cool. And I was like, how do you know English? And they're like, they teach us English in school. Yeah. And I was like, oh, my God, this is so cool. They weren't really great, but they would like to play with me because they would like to learn language. They would like to communicate with people so they could practice their skills. That's the thing, man. They're brilliant kids, man. They're brilliant. It's a brilliant culture, man.
Maybe if you learn the language, you can get a leg up on all the Japanese Splatoon players.
I don't need a leg up on the Japanese.
Yeah, you're always complaining. These Japanese guys, they're too good for me, man.
No, they're not too good for me. They just play a different style, and you need to learn the styles. Their style is sneak attack. Like they hide. You'll find like a little spot, a little splatter of ink in the corner, and you don't even realize. And you go running by, and they pop up and shoot you, and it's like, dude, I didn't even know you were in there. Like, how the heck did you even fit in there? But that's the stuff that they do, and it drives me. But now I have it; it's not as bad. But when I originally played, they used to drive me up the wall. But they are good. I think they're better than the American players to some degree.
Yeah, probably.
So that is all. Thank you guys for listening to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher. We're watching the video version on YouTube. We sincerely appreciate it. You can follow Toby, Toby's_take on Twitter, Amiibo_workshop on Instagram. You can follow me, Instagram, Twitter, at Nintendo Gurus. Peace out, Cub Scout.
I'm going to A to the Z you later. Bye.
You and Sean, I hate you both. I'm just going to say that. I can't deal with you two.